This is Master Your Mindset with Coach Mark.
Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Master Your Mindset with Coach Mark. I am super pumped up. I know I keep saying that, but every single one of these topics is like really near and dear to my heart. But specifically today, I literally wrote a book on this topic. We're going to talk about like how leaders earn the right to lead others. I have this really deep thing that like I always go back to, and that is that I have to earn the right to lead others. And I'm going to share with you guys how I actually do that today. All right. So in this podcast, I want to show you how you can earn the right to lead others so that you can do this from a place of absolute confidence and conviction, and then pass on that confidence and conviction to those that people who follow you. Okay. Now, if you've ever felt like a leadership fraud, this is going to be your episode. Or if you've ever felt like you're just not qualified enough to be a leader, this is the episode for you. Or if you ever feel like you're close to getting promoted and it just like makes you completely nervous because you're like, wow, I'm going to be that next step up as a leader and I don't even know really what I'm doing. This podcast is going to be for you, okay? Now, what most people do is they think that they've never led anyone before at this point. And here's the thing. We are constantly focused on like all of the stories and the thoughts that will get us not to take action and prevent us from being like actually becoming the leader that we want to become. So we have this idea of like, this is something that's new. And because it's new, I've never done this before. So like, I don't know if I'm going to be capable of this. I don't know if I was born a great leader. That was another podcast that I recently did, right? And so we get all of these stories mixed up that actually prevents us from going out there and leading. But here's the thing. I want you to know that you are a leader, that you have been in that position before. And yes, taking that next step up might be a little bit uncomfortable, but that's something you need to lean into. Instead of thinking about like all of the things that you've done in the past that you haven't succeeded at, how about thinking about the successes that you've had, the times that you have been an incredible leader and you've modeled that behavior for others. Now, a leader, the way that I like to think about it, is a leader is somebody who's influencing people, whether it's at work, in your business, a spouse or parent at home, somebody who's like wanting to be more and wanting to help and really like help people solve their problems. I mean, if you're an entrepreneur, you're a leader. If you're a parent, you're a leader. If you're a spouse, you're a leader. And by the way, the greatest leaders are the greatest followers. Okay. I know so many times people think for some reason, like if you're a leader, then you should not be following people. Do you know how much the great leaders follow other people? They do that because they know that the best leaders are actually the best followers. All right. So if you're somebody who has any kind of position like that, you're 1000% a leader. All right. So today, what I want to do is I want to tackle one of the 13 chapters in my book. All right. It's actually chapter number 8. It's talking about like how you earn the right to lead others. Right. Now that we've got this idea out of the way that you're not a leader, I want you to step into it. All right. I really want you to step in. And the best way that you can do that is become a leader of yourself. So do you know that there's always somebody that you're leading, even if you're in just a room by yourself? The most important person, I would say, is for you to lead yourself. Honestly, if you can lead yourself, leading others is a piece of cake, all right? And a lot of times we will point fingers outside of us, but in reality, it all starts in here. I never tell somebody to do something that I am not willing to do or something that I haven't done, especially if it's like in the recent past. I don't like to tell people about things I did 25 years ago if I'm not willing to do that today. So a part of being that leader is you being willing to be there in the trenches, all right? So you're always leading someone. What most people think is that they need a whole bunch of different training and strategies and suggestions before they actually can help other people take action. But that's not the case. Because remember, the best way that you can lead is to model that behavior yourself. It speaks louder than any advice or any direction that you can give to someone else, is you modeling that behavior for yourself. A lot of times when I'm having coaching sessions and people are like getting frustrated because their team or their partners or their significant other or their kids or whatever are not showing up that they want them to, I ask them, okay, are you doing the things that you're asking them to do? And not only are you modeling the behavior, is it visible to them? Because if nobody sees you doing it and you never talk about it, how are they going to know that you're actually doing that? And remember, your actions speak louder than words. You may say stuff, but what your kids are watching, that's what they duplicate, all right? So I want you to become aware of this, that as a leader, the best way you can lead others is by first starting by modeling the behavior yourself, all right? Now, I believe that leaders who model the behavior themselves, they're the ones who deserve and earn the right to lead others. So I want to ask you, are you modeling the behavior that you're expecting of others? Are you down in the trenches? Are you doing those things that you're asking them to do? And I don't mean 25 years ago, I mean like recently. It is so important to do that. And if you don't know how to do that anymore, there is no problem with asking somebody who's doing that, who's on that level, to show you. Like if you're giving instruction and it's based off of something you've never done before, I would highly suggest you find a way of doing that thing, or getting with the people who are on that ground floor and asking them to walk you through it. I can't tell you like how humbling of an experience that is, but at the same time, how much leadership influence you gain from being willing to do that. We all love to follow leaders who've come before them, who've been in the trenches, who aren't afraid to get dirty, who aren't afraid to do the things that they're telling us to do. Those are the people that we get behind. And so many times people, when they get a leadership role, they think about all the things they have to do on the outside. But I want to ask you, what are you doing to lead yourself first? If you lead yourself, the rest will work itself out. Now, of course, I want you to put yourself in an environment so that you can continue to grow, that you can continue to develop your influence, so that you have I can't tell you how important when it comes to leadership, boundaries, having boundaries in place is something that I had to stumble through for a long time. But after you really maximize yourself and you're able to show up and model that behavior, then you got to make sure that you actually put yourself in that environment to continue to grow, to continue to thrive, to continue to learn that next lesson, and making sure that boundaries are a part of that too. So guys, I want to end with this. Modeling the behavior is the most important thing that you can do. When you think about taking on this big responsibility, when you think about taking on a new promotion, or you're thinking about leading other people in your business, I want you to ask yourself, am I modeling this behavior myself? Because if you are, your actions are speaking louder than words, all right? All right. Quick quote to end out this Monday episode. The best leaders know what they believe, but are willing to challenge and change that when presented with a different belief. The best leaders know what they believe, but at the same time, they're willing to challenge and to be open to being presented with new opportunities and new things to believe. Just because you're open to some other belief, a perspective, another way of doing things, does not mean you're condoning that, or does not mean you agree or believe in it. It means you're open to accepting that perspective. And if it changes your belief, perfect. If it makes your belief stronger, that's perfect. But the best leaders are always open to doing it a different way, to thinking about it a different way. And I know you're the same way, or you wouldn't be here on this podcast. All right, guys, I appreciate you guys so much. I know I say that a lot, but I appreciate you, because I would not be able to be doing what it is that I'm doing here today if I didn't have such amazing listeners like you guys. If there's anything that I can do, please don't hesitate to reach out. I appreciate you guys so much. Stay safe, and I'll see you on the next episode. Bye.